Okay, so the next tool is the paint bucket. Okay, it's called that because it's a bit like, you get a bucket of paint and you splash it all over, so it's very useful for covering large areas or areas quite quickly. There's two things you can actually do here. So I've got nothing else on here, just the basic background, which I've got is black. I've got the paint bucket here, and I've got a color chosen as pink. So we're just going to select the paint bucket, and if we just click anywhere in here, it'll take a few moments, and there we are. We have a pink background, a little bit bright, shall we say. But as you can see, it's very, very quick. It's an easy way to color something really, really quickly. So I'm just going to undo that. So as I want to show you is I've got some letters here, so I'll just reveal the layer. So this is separate layers. So now if this was on there, and as we know, it would be affecting it. So I'm just going to imagine that these letters were on the same layer. So let's do that. And we can actually, I'll teach you that here. I'll not save it for another lecture. You can, I don't bother with these other ones here, but you can merge down the layer. So what that means is you've got two separate layers, so you could actually make them as one. Sometimes you find it useful. So if, say, when you're working with text, you might have different layers with different size words on them, and then you want to just move them all in one go instead of having to move one word and then the other word and so on. You could merge down the level. So it allows you to merge down. So if you click merge down, it's merging this one down into that one. So if we click it, we've now got that's all on letters, and that's on the same one. So if we select the IANN, so select an area. So I would use the paintbrush for this. So say we just selected the I. If we were to use the paintbrush and clicking inside the selected area, hopefully, it will just change that selected area only. If it wasn't selected, so let's unselect that, and you were just to click here, as you see, it will change everything that it can see. So it's essentially able to change all this area here. It's not changed these ones and these letters, but which I'm quite surprised at, because normally what it would do is actually flood the entire area. So what it's best to do is to select, if you select an area, whether that be this or whatever. So say for instance you wanted to have this and make that a white space, you could use your paint bucket, so keep the pink for now. We'll just change, as you can see, it's not done everything else, it's just selected, done it inside the area that it's selected. So this is, so you don't need to, so if there's no selection, it will do the whole area. If you want to just do a certain part of it, select that area first, then paint bucket in that area, and it will just color that area only. So I'm just going to undo that. So we can change the color of our paint bucket. So we can see this is the color palette here. Now, what you'll probably find first you'll get this. There's different ways of changing the colors. But the one I tend to use is this one. So you can choose from all these pre-selected colors here. So you could select any color you want. You can also, over here, you'll notice that there's 4 different shades. Now the 2 shades to the left darken, the 2 shades to the right are to lighten. So if you wanted just to darken it slightly or lighten it slightly, you would use the ones on the middle. So the left would be darkened, the right would be slightly lightened. If you want to darken it more than slightly, you would click this one to darken it, or to the far right would lighten it a lot more than just gradually. So it depends on what adjustments you want to make to your color. So if I click that there, it just goes up, goes down, or a lot that way, and so on. You can also do in these, because you'll have this color selector by the way using other tools, which we'll deal with later. You can actually, if you had a color from another image, but it has to be in this window, you can't just go to another window, unfortunately. But you could bring, say, an image in which had a nice color in it that you liked. You can import that image. I'll show you how to do that. And you can click it. So if you notice, if I move this outside here, it turns to a little color picker. So if I move it over any of these colors here on the screen here are visible, it will pick. So if I was to say click on let's see, click on something which is the same color, so say on the hand, it will pick that color, so we can now use that color. So if we went OK on that, what we could do is use it to select an area. So say the want to use that, we've got that color, that tells us what color we've already got. We could click that and it will change the A to that color. And that's it. That's the paint bucket tool. It's really good for coloring in large areas or pre